Some price hikes slap you in the face at checkout, or at least that's the way that it feels. Other ones sneak up quietly, with shrinkflation or seasonal changes or, a day that ends in Y. But today we're going to break down 15 price hikes that you can keep an eye out for in September so that you can navigate around them and potentially beat them, because that's the goal, is to beat them. Hello everyone and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. We are all about pantry preparedness, and today we are going to delve into 15 things to keep an eye out for because the prices will be going up, and different ways to save. We're also going to explain why some of them go up like this, and then we're going to tell you what to look for to stock up on the month of September. Let's get started. We're going to kick this off with grains. Rice, grains, pasta, that kind of thing. So shrinkflation is where they're hitting us with this particular category, because it looks like the same package, right? It's the same package that I got last month. This is the same part of the aisle that I got it from. It looks the same. I think it's the same, when it's actually maybe an ounce or two less. But the price hasn't changed, or potentially the price has gone up, which is what you notice the most. Shrinkflation seems to be the biggest culprit with this. The grain market as it is kind of teetering just because they're anticipating all of the different issues. There have been crop failures, there have been weather instances, there are tariffs, there are any number of things. We do grow some stuff here in the US, but we also get a lot of it from outside of the US. So you're going to see some different things popping up here and things that you want to keep your eye on. Yes, I know, buy American, okay? So you want to keep an eye out because it may look the same as you're grabbing and going, and you think that you're purchasing a 20-pound bag of rice. But when you get home, you look at it and you go, that says 18. Well, when did that happen? Probably the easiest way to save money, the most frugal fix for this, is to purchase it from warehouse clubs like Sam's or Costco's or BJ's or something like that. See if there's a local co-op. Maybe you can go in with a friend and split the cost. There are different ways to source your bulk grains, pasta, rice, that kind of thing, and save a buck or two as compared to just popping in at the grocery store and getting it as you need it. The key here is to stock up because it will never be as cheap as it is today. The next category is cooking oils, and I'm sure everybody wonders why, but it's seriously a global commodity volatility. That is it. That's the big thing. The global commodity is it's crazy like everything else in the world right now. So you want to pay attention to your prices, you want to pay attention to the quality, and you want to pay attention to the sizes of the containers, because those have changed. Again, they always do. As a great little kind of history lesson, out of nowhere in 2022, the oil prices went up 28%. I can only imagine how much they've gone up now. I didn't get that far in my research, but they've gone up since then, because olive oil has gotten definitely more expensive because of the crop failures and things that they had going on. So you want to definitely check on the oils if you still need to stock up on some. Now, the frugal fix for this, because I'm all about frugality today, is that now September, okay, is a great time to start stocking up on it. So stock up during holiday sales like Thanksgiving and like Christmas, because that's when they'll go on the biggest discount. But because we don't know what the economy is doing right now, you might want to hedge your bets a little bit with a small purchase now. Remember, oils go rancid 6 months to a year, depending on the condition that you are storing them in. And so you don't want to super stock up on them, but you want to make sure you got enough to get you through. So if you are running a little bit low now, get some now to get you through to the end of the year. But Thanksgiving and Christmas time, the holiday time, that's the time to stock up to get you through 2026. If you really want to save money and take advantage of a great deal on oil, if you find one, you can freeze it. And that's all great, as long as the grid doesn't completely fail us, okay? I don't care what kind of oil it is, you can put it in the freezer. The next one is cheese and dairy. And cheese is the glue of the culinary world. It goes on everything. It's good in everything. It's fantastic. But cheese and dairy, yeah, that's an issue. So holiday demand for that begins this month. People start buying it in droves this month. They start stocking up on it because it lasts. You know, it's good for quite a few months. So pay attention to your sales, pay attention to your prices, pay attention to your sizes. That's going to be a big one because, again, the same thing can happen. Cheddar jumped $1.25 a pound in just 2 months during the holiday season. So you want to keep an eye on that. Pay attention, okay? But there's a frugal fix, again, always for this. So if you find a good sale, if you get a good sale, or you just want to stock up because you're tired of dealing with it, you can shred it and freeze it, and you can freeze dry it. So if you buy the blocks instead of the pre-shredded stuff, yes, I know it's extra work, and yes, I know it's a possible injury, okay? But if you're careful, unlike me, then you can do this. You can shred your own. So much easier. You don't have to worry about it. Shred it as you need it. Poof, you're done, you're gone. There's all kinds of internet, about what they put in shredded cheese to buy it commercially. I have found that it actually is cheaper to shred your own. Yeah, it takes a couple minutes. Yeah, you got to be careful, but it can be done. So if you have a freeze dryer, you can freeze dry it. If you don't have a freeze dryer, you can cut it into blocks and put those blocks in the freezer, and you can shred it as you need it, or you can cut it into slices as you need it, and they're bigger, better slices than what you get at the store most of the time, right? So they make great grilled cheeses, but you'll save a bunch of money doing it that way. Now, yes, it will perform differently when you pull it out of the freezer and defrost it. So like cream cheese, you can absolutely freeze cream cheese, but when you get it out, it's going to be very crumbly. It's not going to be that smooth on your bagel consistency, right? So you may need to put it into your mixer, not a blender, into your mixer and whip it up a little bit. You know, you may need to super beat it into submission again, but it's still completely usable. So learn how it acts differently, experiment with it if you want, and add some cheese to your stocks because it's good. Another frugal fix for this is if you go by the deli counter, right? Sometimes they'll have those end pieces on sale for up to 50% off. Yeah, that's a deal. Because I know the deli in town here has the most amazing, they call it firecracker jack. It's like pepper jack, only it's a little spicier, and it's so good. So I'm always looking for that on the sale. Another thing is to substitute cheese. I know, it's not the same, but it's the same. So look at powdered cheese or freeze-dried cheese as an alternative to have cheese around when you need it. Because it's a need, it's not a want. Okay, here we go. Eggs. I know. Gosh, do I know. Eggs are volatile and will continue to be volatile moving forward due to the diseases. Flock disease outbreaks will increase prices. It's bound to happen. It's going to happen again. It happened already this year. It's going to happen again. So be prepared for it. Expect it. No, water glassing eggs is not a safe approved method. Okay. There's a lot of variables, and anybody that knows anything about eggs and chickens knows that they can be rather dangerous. And so it just does not make sense to risk. Okay. You're not saving anything if you're poisoning your family. So, I won't even broach that one any farther. But egg prices, as you know, have gone absolutely crazy. Now, the other day, I swung through Walmart to see if they had the milk in that I get, and they still didn't. Something's going on there. I'm convinced. It's my conspiracy theory for the week. But as I confirmed that they did not have my milk, I noticed on the way back out again that the cases of eggs, where it's 5 dozen, I think, is in there, right? The big one, 30 count. That's back down to 13 and change in our area. Because at one point, it was like $27. That's how much it goes up. It's what you have to watch for. So the frugal fix for this one is you've got a freezer and you've got ice cube trays, or you can easily get them. Crack some eggs over a bowl. Whip them up into scrambled eggs, portion them into your ice cube tray, and put them in the freezer. When they're frozen, pull them out empty them into like a Ziploc bag or something, put it back in the freezer. You have portioned out eggs. Now, when you defrost them, you're gonna have to whip them up again, you know, and some people say they get kind of a little grainy flavor, but I'm trying to figure out what that's from, and I just don't know. So I would just say beat it up really good when you pull it out of the freezer. Perfect for baking, perfect for eating, perfect for binding meatloaf or whatever you want, right? They will not make sunny side up eggs, surprise, because they're scrambled, but it's a great way to preserve eggs and have a few set aside safely in case you need them in the future. Now, the other thing that you can do is that you can safely freeze dry eggs if you have a freeze dryer, or you can purchase freeze dried eggs. There is no safe, reliable method for dehydrating eggs. I know you've done it, and you've lived to tell about it. But what I'm saying is there's no safe, reliable method for it. And salmonella sucks, okay? So why? Just go with the trusted methods. We're busy enough this year, you know what I mean? Another way to save and be frugal about the eggs is to substitute them. You can substitute them with applesauce. You can substitute them with flaxseed. There is a whole bunch of other egg substitutes out there. Just search for it and you'll come up with a list. Oh, you know, they keep messing with my coffee. It's like, how many different ways? But coffee, yeah, coffee prices still going up. We know this, we've talked about this frequently lately, it seems. But import costs tied to fuel prices, tied to a lousy harvest season due to the weather, okay? You have the trifecta there. And so coffee prices are rising. I've seen it, I know it. Definitely $1 plus for what I used to buy. It costs more now. And so I started supplementing. You know, I mix my Maxwell House, or I mix my Great Value decaf, which was the best deal that I found on decaf, and I mix in my flavored fufu coffee that I had 6 months of anyway, and I'm happy, I'm good, life's good, I got coffee, you know, but coffee prices are going up. Yes, I could cut back on my coffee, but we really don't want to see me like that. Some people say that the frugal fix for this is to buy whole beans, okay? Cheaper per pound and it lasts longer. Now it does last longer. And I have to look to see if it's cheaper per pound because I haven't factored that in, and now I'm gonna be on a hunt. So we'll revisit that one. But they say that it's cheaper per pound and that it lasts longer. It absolutely does. It starts decreasing in flavor and everything else once it's ground. So having the whole bean, and then you put the whole bean into your freezer, and that will last you a really long time. Actually, coffee in your freezer will last you a really long time. You know, freezing it stops the clock, right? But it's just a lot, you know? So yes, you can grind your own beans. That's another way to do it. I used to, way back in the day when I didn't have quite as much to do. So you can do that. Obviously, you can stretch it with chicory root if you want, or roasted barley if you want. Brew stronger coffee and dilute it with hot water. You know, there's all different things that you can do to kind of rein in back. I applaud all of you that have said that you have either cut back to 2 cups or 1 cup, or you cut it out altogether. You are amazing. I applaud you, and I'm not doing it. Now, sugar, because sugar makes everything sweet, right? Sugar prices are going up. They've been going up. Tariffs and harvest shortages are the culprits for this problem. Yes, they make sugar here in the US. Yes, they make beet sugar here too. But then you've got all the people going non-GMO. So pick your battles, figure it out. Not my circus, you know what I mean? So the USDA reported global sugar shortage in the fall of 2023. And I don't know that they've come up off that because weather has still played an impact. Shipping is playing a really big impact, and tariffs if so applicable. We used to get a lot of sugar here in the country, but then we had to start importing it for whatever reason. And so, yes. You don't need to educate me on that. I'm good. So a really frugal fix for that is to stock up on 25-pound bags of sugar before the holidays, stored in airtight buckets. Get your food grade buckets with your lids. You don't need gamma lids, okay? just regular lids. They're easy enough to get off. Actually, they're easier to get off than the Gamma lids. And substitute with honey or molasses or stevia when practical. The issue with the honey, if it's real honey, is that real honey is super expensive, okay? So, you know, you walk a fine line with that one. But you could always just, you know, use maple syrup, and it doesn't have to be real. Do your do. There's no judgment here. I don't care. I got no skin in the game. So, honey of whatever kind, but watch your prices. Compare how much you would end up using compared to the cost of sugar. But right now, sugar is where it's at. I know Wally World used to carry multiple sizes and have an entire, you know, quarter of an aisle stocked with sugar. And now it's like 2 little pieces, and it's really hard to get the larger bags. But you can order it online. You can Azure. I have a link down below. If you haven't checked to see if there's an Azure drop near you, click on that link. Yes. And find out, because you can get sugar from Azure, and that is organic, and that is good, and you know, all the fun stuff. But if you have Amish stores around you, then you can get them from there. But a 25-pound bag of sugar typically fits in a 5-gallon bucket. And depending on how much you bake or how much you cook or whatever, you know, sugar doesn't go bad. It only goes bad if it gets wet. So put it in a bucket, seal that lid down. You got sugar. A lot of people are saying, I can't find cocoa at a good price. You're not gonna find cocoa at a good price anymore. Number one, we have hit the season, okay? The holiday baking demand is coming on. People are gearing up, they're getting ready. We're gonna bake everything this year, and chocolate is just about everybody's favorite, right? But cocoa prices have been warned for years now. I've been telling you about this, that they're going up, and they're gonna keep going up, and they're gonna keep going up. They are impacted by tariffs. I have not heard that they got a waiver on this, okay? So, yeah, we're going with whatever's here, and cocoa powder is an issue. Cocoa is an issue. So if you're very particular, for the 3rd or 4th month in a row now, I'm telling you, go stock up on it. Don't wait for the sale. I don't think it's gonna get any better. I really, really don't. You can source out different kinds, you can look around, you can test different stuff, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna get a whole lot cheaper. Hershey has warned about this. They have warned and warned and warned about this. They're asking for relief from the government about this. I mean, chocolate's a really big thing. It's always been a really big thing, but it's even bigger now, you know? So one of the frugal fixes for this is to buy unsweetened cocoa powder. Unsweetened. You have to add your own sweetener. That's not a hardship, you know? And that lets you control it a little bit better too. So look for clearance candies after Halloween. Look for the good clearance candies after Halloween. Definitely, you know, chips, those kind of things. Baking stuff is gonna be going on sale for the holidays. You're gonna start seeing more and more of it going on sale, but I don't know that I would count on amazing prices. So if it's important to you for what you do or what you make for the next 4 months or so, then definitely you want to stock up on it. Real chocolate doesn't go bad. Milk chocolate, we still have that sealed bag that we opened up and had my grandson taste. I think it was last year. I don't know anymore. But that was 4 years old at the time. I have to go back and look for that video now. But it doesn't go bad if you seal it. Airtight, cool, dark, and dry. That's what you need for chocolate. It can be Hershey Kisses. It can be chocolate bars. It can be cocoa powder, you know. Go ahead, get it. If you find it on a good sale, stock it up. Vacuum seal it. Put it cool, dark, and dry. It might get a bloom on it, which is that white kind of powdery look to it. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's like aged fine wine, my friends, okay? So ignore that. It does nothing. It's good. It's still perfectly good to use for any application. Chocolate is kind of important for some people. Canned tomato products. Okay, so I've mentioned often that typically this time of year, if I have not put up a bunch of tomatoes, which I didn't garden a bunch of tomatoes. I did experiment plants this year, and then my shoulder blew out, so I'm done. But typically, historically, I have always gone and bought cases of tomato products, tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, you know, whatever the case may be, and put it up because so many different dishes use it. It's so versatile for so many different things. There's vitamin C in tomatoes. Yeah, you know, overall, for the most part, it's pretty good for you. So I always stock up on it. This is still a really good time to stock up on it. There have been some supply bottlenecks during harvest season, you know. There are not enough people picking them to get them to where they got to go. There's tariffs coming into the country because we get a lot of tomatoes from Mexico. You name it, yeah, tomatoes are taking a hit. At which point we're taking a hit. So it's a little late to start gardening now, right? It is what it is. Now you know for next year, but get your seeds now because you're going to want to start them in like February. So California drought cut yields, raising prices about 20%. We get a lot of tomatoes from California too because they have the perfect weather theoretically. Now a frugal fix for this is again to buy cases when the grocery stores run those 10 for 10 sales, right? If you have a store that is like a bulk store, now I find the tomato products cheaper when I don't get them at like Sam's Club or something like that. But a lot of places do case lot sales. A lot of places do like 10 for 10. That's the time to get them. Hit up your Dollar Tree, hit up your Dollar General, hit up wherever you can get them for the least amount of money. Another great substitute, if you did not grow your own tomatoes this year, okay, is to substitute it with tomato powder. I love tomato powder. With Thrive Life, I got a bunch of it, okay? And because it's pure tomato, it clumps up. Not a problem. I will chisel that stuff out because it's nothing but tomato. Now, most other companies do include something, a non-clumping agent like arrowroot or whatever. And so it's still just as good. Not a problem. You can make so many things with tomato powder. So I urge you to take a peek at the links in the description box below the video, okay? Because I will link to a couple different kinds of tomato powder for you to consider. It's a great thing to have on hand. If you're like me and, okay, even those little things of tomato paste, I never use the whole thing, like ever. And getting the tubes, that's expensive. But having tomato powder, that is inexpensive and you can make anything you want with it. Now, if you did grow your own maters, save those skins and dehydrate them and you have tomato powder. We're gonna zip back around to wheat products. Again, it's a global harvest distribution issue, blah, 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 right? But those prices all went up. They all went up. So now is also the time that you will see those 10 for 10 at the grocery stores of different boxes of pasta. Making our own is another great way to do it. Do you need all the fun shapes? You do not need all the fun shapes. They are not what makes a dish good. I have no problem having spaghetti with elbow macaroni. It's just easier to call it spaghetti so that Phil knows what he's getting for dinner. So the frugal fix is that we can make our own. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of that this year because I'm tired of storing pasta. It's taking up a whole bunch of space. But you can make your own. You can make your own bread. You can make your own flour. You can make all your own baked goods. It doesn't take long. It's actually pretty easy. And if you buy commercially ground flour and you want it for longer term, store it in the freezer. Commercially ground flour, again, depending on your storage situation and your environment, okay, will last a year to 2 years before it goes rancid. And so I can't remember who said it, but somebody commented and said, I went and checked it and you were right. It was all rancid. And I'm like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And I don't know who's out there telling people, oh no, it lasts forever. It does not, okay? It really depends on where you're located and the heat and the humidity and a bunch of other factors. So commercially ground flour is not long-term. Grinding your own, milling your own flour, that's long-term. Wheat, storing wheat is the solution to all of that. And I'm really looking forward to Nutrimil coming out with a sale here soon. So keep an eye out because I'm going to be keeping an eye out. But that is the best way to do it, is to learn to make your own all the way around. You don't have to run out and buy a mill, okay? Start with commercially ground and learn how to make all the different things. And then once you got that down, you can start dipping your toes into milling your own flour and relearn literally everything because it acts completely different. But it's so much better for you. Taste is amazing. Of all the goofy things, frozen taters. Frozen taters. So seasonal shortages ahead of holiday fries and sides. It's normal. It happens. So frozen taters could be hard to find, or could be very expensive, or definitely shrinkflation can hit them, which is just goofy. The easy fix for this is to buy fresh potatoes, okay? You can still find those for pretty decent prices. Buy them in bulk, dehydrate them, freeze dry them. No, you can can them, but you follow the process, okay? There's, you can't can hash browns. Anyway, so learn to make your own homemade oven fries. Yeah, potatoes. I kind of miss them. Orange juice. Now, admittedly, we were talking about this with Pantry Pals, and we don't drink a lot of orange juice. We hardly ever drink orange juice. Like once in a blue moon, if we're goofy enough to go out to breakfast, which we almost never do anymore because it's just crazy expensive. But orange juice, yep, that's going to be an issue. So, the hurricanes, the citrus crops, the fact that they're plowing down fields to build houses, all that other fun stuff. So you want to watch your orange juice prices. Now, back in the day, because I'm old as heck, they used to have frozen concentrate. I can remember my mother getting that. Frozen concentrate orange juice. Do they still make it? I have to go look now. You can buy those. Throw them in your freezer. My gosh, they last forever, okay? Definitely get some vitamin C tablets, or find other fresh foods or freeze-dried or whatever that have vitamin C in them. Drink water with a squeeze of lemon juice in it. It's great. It's a great, substitute for getting your vitamin C. I know orange juice tastes good, but sometimes you just can't have what you want, or you're going to pay a lot for it. Spices. Guess what we import a ton of? Yeah. So holiday cooking, we're gearing up. I'm telling you, the holidays, if you're on your game, you're already prepping for the holidays, okay? So that includes your spices, your seasonings, that kind of stuff. Back in 2023, we saw cinnamon go up 15% at Costco. Yeah. Why? I don't know. There was probably a really good reason, but a really simple, frugal fix for this is to buy it in bulk. So any of my friends that have Amish stores near them, great thing to check out. I know that I just got a 2-pound bucket, and I think half the reason I got it was for the bucket of cinnamon sticks, because Phil uses them for his recipes. And I got it for a really good price on the Zon. So I'll put that link down below if you use a lot of cinnamon sticks. But buying in bulk helps a lot. I buy in bulk through Azure. I'm really enjoying the spices that I'm getting from them. They're fresh, they're good. Penzies is another one that I know is really good. There's a few different places, but look for ways to buy them in bulk. But they'll go bad. No, they won't. Not if you're on your game. Because you are going to fill your spice jars, and then anything extra, you're going to vacuum seal. You're either going to put it in a vacuum seal bag and sucky bag it. You're going to put it into a mason jar and sucky bag it and label it. Always label it, because they all look the same. Or, whatever. You're going to find a way to make it where there's no air in there, and where it's cool and dark and dry. And I've had cumin, the same bag of cumin that is still good 4 years later. I love me some cumin. Yes, I do. So stock up on your spices, especially because they do come from someplace else, okay? Another way to save money on those is if you have ethnic stores nearby, that's a great way to do it. And my favorite tip, I think, is that when it comes to things like cinnamon or nutmeg or cloves, that get the whole spices. Don't get them ground. Get the whole spices. Grind them yourself. You're going to be much better off in the long run. And for freshness, it lasts way longer. Butter, baby, butter. Okay, so watch for your butter sales right now. You might start seeing some right now. They are not what they used to be by any stretch of the imagination. But again, butter, because, yeah, holidays. So heavy baking season is ramping up. Okay, so you're going to want to stock up on butter. Butter stores perfectly in the freezer. Mine tastes like green peppers. Stop storing your green peppers next to your butter. It's really just that simple, okay? Butter prices are probably never going to be as low as they were. Yeah. But I keep watching and I keep hoping. I think the cheapest that I have seen is $2.49 a pound. That's real random. And I haven't taken advantage because I still have like 40 some odd pounds of butter in my freezer, and it lasts forever in the freezer, you guys, okay? Regardless of what you see or read or somebody else tells you. Now, the frugal fix for this obviously is to buy it on sale and freeze it. Make ghee, which is shelf stable, or you can swap in oils or margarine for some recipes. I'm not a big margarine fan, but you can definitely swap in oil. Butter is expensive, so if I'm making a mass quantity of banana bread, you can bet that I'm putting oil in it and not butter. Okay, everybody's favorite, tuna. So they're kind of warning about tuna prices going up. And you're gonna wanna keep an eye out for this. If you see them on sale, grab them up. If you eat it, if you don't eat it, don't get it, okay? But we're expecting tariff issues because it is imported. I know we get it here too, but a lot of it is imported. So look for alternative proteins like canned chicken or canned salmon. I know it's not the same, but it's protein. So you're gonna wanna try to figure out alternatives. Buy tuna in oil because it's more filling. Did you know that? Yeah, because that oil helps fill you up too. Stock up during case sales and when they have stuff at the warehouse clubs, that kind of thing, look for those. That's the frugal fix for that. But oil, tuna in oil is not a bad thing. Some marketing genius came up with it, decades ago, but if it comes in oil, it's perfectly good. Not a problem. You can always rinse it off if you don't like it. Now, to go with the pasta being an issue, the pasta sauce is an issue because the tomatoes are an issue, right? Tomatoes plus shipping and packaging, all of it has increased. All of it is increasing still. All of it is being tariffed new now. So it's all going to cost more. That's just the nature of the beast. Again, name brand jars rose $1.50 from September of 2022. Yeah. And watch those jar sizes. Man, they're sneaky. Man, they're sneaky. I don't eat a lot of it anymore commercially, so it's rare that it will catch my eye, but I'm really trying to see and look, and if I see it, I'll grab a picture of it. But man, a really frugal fix for this is to make your own from tomato paste. Yeah. So that tomato powder or that tomato paste, you can add herbs and whatnot, make it customized to your taste, okay? And you're good to go. No, you cannot recan number 10 cans of tomato products safely. You can't, okay? You have no idea. You have no idea what's in there. You have no idea what the acidity level is. You have no idea about nothing. I've always done it and I lived. May the force be with you, okay? But you can buy those number 10 cans, which you can typically get for pretty darn cheap compared to the other stuff, right? And you can put it in the freezer. So if you see tomato sauce in a number 10 can at a store and it's at a ridiculous cost that's really low, bring it home, crack it open, portion it out, put it in the freezer. You've got it. If you've spotted any sneaky price hikes yet, let me know in the comment section down below, okay? Let's crowdsource the real story because it's out there. And if you're ready to beat inflation, one pantry shelf at a time, my friends, subscribe and stick around because we are going to hit it hard. Yes, we are. Now for the fun part. This one's going to go fast and furious, and there's a link down below for you to click so that you have a printed copy. Seasonal stock up checklist for the month of September. September buys before price spikes, okay? Flour and rice. Bulk bags are cheapest in September before holiday baking. Just a fact. You can repackage them, cool, dark, and dry. You know the drill. Cooking oil and shortening, same thing. Grab them on sale now. Holiday demand will push prices higher and you can freeze them. Cheese blocks, we talked about it. Eggs, when they're on sale. Do eggs ever go on sale anymore? Probably not. Maybe. You never know. I did see some on sale. Okay. Coffee beans, sugar, cocoa powder, canned tomatoes, potatoes, and onions. Yes. And you can get, if you see onions on sale, go home, prepare to cry, chop them up, put them in baggies, put them in the freezer. I would double bag them because it can kind of overtake, just like the peppers, you know? Butter and spices. So those are the things that you want to look for this month because this is when they'll likely be the cheapest before the holidays kick in. Think of September as the launching pad, okay, for the holiday pantry prep. It's the easiest way to do it. What else we got going on in September? Nothing at all, okay? So Now's the time to stock up for all of the fun that we're going to have the last 3 months of this year. Until next time, everybody, be safe. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends.